is the Paris Supercross lines breakdown, and we're going to start off with Jet Lawrence as he does some epic shit. He was the only rider at first to do this double, triple, quad section, and watch how beautifully he executes this, how smooth he's able to transition from a preload to then landing and sit down and come around the next corner and able to seat bounce to not wheel tap over this triple. Let's watch this. This is after the start. Wow, spectacular. So let's break this down just a little bit. So he comes through here, has a perfect triple, and he lands, and he just hauls butt. There's honestly no preload involved there. Look at how high he is. He doesn't tap the rear brake. He just moves his weight forward briefly to get that front wheel to land on the downside of the quad. And then he's going to seamlessly, in one motion, sit down and stick that leg out and haul butt around the corner, and then he's able to then seat bounce. Notice that he's curling his hips. He's far back on the bike, and he's able to get enough lift to where he bounces up and over that triple, where a lot of the other riders were only able to pop up and then wheel tap off of it. Not to mention, watch as he comes through these whoops here in slow motion. Watch that front wheel, how it misses or almost misses several whoops because he's going so fast. And he's just on freaking, you could put a paper clip on top of each whoop and he is just going to barely just nick it. So he's hitting them, but enough to where the suspension is able to soak everything up and there's not that much kicking going on. And this guy was a dominant rider at the 2024 Paris Supercross. And as we watch Tom Vial, as he comes around that same corner, we can see he is just barely wheel tapping that sucker. It's good that he's able to do it on a 250, but he wasn't able to jump over it cleanly. But look how high that front wheel is. And this is a great segue to today's video sponsor, coachropstore.com and their energy fuel. I love this stuff. I love their traditional one because it's up to 3 hours and it's got 242 calories. The stuff that is wrong about Gatorade and normal just electrolyte drinks is there's hardly any calories in them. And Coach Rob has a sweat analysis that'll be able to tell you how many carbs and calories you need per hour of activity. So make sure you go to coachropstore.com and you check this stuff out. My favorite is pink lemonade and watermelon. One other thing I wanted to point out, do you see that these metal gas tanks that these guys are running because they've got the fuel pumps in there to try to keep them cool? That's kind of a cool aftermarket, say, part. And it's something that you can buy for your bike to make your 2025 Honda look almost factory. And there's a lot of exceptional riders there at Paris with Malcolm and Hunter and Dylan. Dylan actually really surprised me with how fast he was going. And I mean, yeah, he had to show up. It's there, Paris. He's a French rider. They love him. Watch as he enters the sand section and he does something spectacular where he wheelies over the roller bump after it. That's just supposed to be a launch bump. So on the inside, you've got one bump to start with, nothing on the outside, and then the exit is clear, but then you have a raised lip on the outside, and watch how he executes this. He is the rider on the outside here. Woo, that was clean. Okay, slow motion. Notice, look at him. He comes around the outside, then he comes up, and he's wheeling over that sucker. Wow, and he just soaks it up. And here's a better look at Jet Lawrence. He's not quadding this time, but because he's not quadding, watch how fast he goes around the corner. I don't believe he's using the brakes at all. So he's going to triple into the corner, and he's just going to coast all the way through, then accelerate and do that seat bounce triple over. Watch how fast this is. Oh, so fast. Lands, then just coasts, sits down, accelerate. That's one of the reasons why this guy is so fast. I know a lot of these guys shift down to use the engine braking rather than actually use the brakes themselves. And here's another example, and this is on the opposite side of the track before the whoop. Watch how he stands up around 80% of the corner, and then when he's ready to accelerate, he sits down in one motion. Okay, he does it just in one fluid. It's not stand, accelerate. No leg out either. So here in slow-mo, standing up, stands up about 60% of the way through. Then he sits down and just accelerates. Doesn't stick that leg out and just hauls butt. And the last moto, you had Cooper Webb starting on the inside of him because he was like, hey, I need to show Jet what's up. But what actually happens is Jet moves over onto Cooper to kind of show him who's boss here. So it's going to be an interesting 2025 Supercross Championship. So watch. Very minute, but he just pushes him out of the way so that he can't take the line from him. Because truthfully, Cooper Webb had the line being on the inside, but with Jet pushing him over, he takes it away from him. Just moves over, and all it is 3 inches. That's all you needed for him to be able to have a clear track and be able to get the whole shot and, again, be the king of Paris. This is Johnny Hopper, and thank you for watching the breakdown. Make sure we get those likes above 1,000 and hit that subscribe button. Helps out the channel a bunch. Till next time, keep it WFO. Bra-da-da-da-da.